Welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel is outlining our community. It talks a lot about what is going on in our community and the problems that we are having in our community and what needs to change in our community. So, today's story is a sad story, and I think that um, this story angered a lot of people. But what I would like to see happen is a maybe a protest. Maybe the leaders in this community come out and protest about this. And this is a story. Let me pull it up. You might have heard about it on the news, but it's about, if I could flip it, you can see it. Let me get it closer. Can you see it? By the way, this is the thumbnail. So if you can see it, sorry for the lighting, but it's about a 6-year-old and her parents who was shot by a man because a basketball rolled in his yard. He got mad, opened fire, and injuring the family. He went on the run, police was called, he was tracked down and arrested. He's charged with multiple counts of attempted murder. He's looking at possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He's looking at assault charges. He's looking at other charges. And so I wanted to talk about this story on this channel. And I talked about this story on my other channel, which is Save Our Children TV channel. So if you have not watched that video, go over there now and watch it. I dropped it yesterday on my channel. And I chose to want to come on here and talk about this because we need to number one, talk about the problems within the community. And so the problem that we have in our community is gun violence, bottom line. And so as the people, because we are the people, there needs to be a change in the communities. And so with gun violence in our community, I think that is very important that the president, Joe Biden, needs to sign a gun reform. And the last time this was brought up to the White House, to the president, he agreed to sign a bill. But the Congress and the chair members decided or told him not to sign the bill. That it's not the guns that's causing the violence, it's the people. As long as we have thugs on our streets roaming and walking with stolen weapons, ammunition, assault rifles, all of the things that should not be in our streets, we're going to continue seeing innocent people gunned down, injured, assaulted, battered, all of that. And so it's our job as the people to vote, go up to legislation, and make a change in our society. 'Cause at the end of it, we got to live in this earth, and we got to continue witnessing tragedy each and every day. And so it's time for us to stop the gun violence. It's time for us to stop the gun violence. Um, sorry about that. So it's up to us to change. And I think that give me just a second. I think it's that it's important that we change as the people, and One purple nose video. Again. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Just. Hold on.
Why did you shoot my daddy and me? Because you shoot the kid's dad.
This morning, a 6-year-old girl and her parents were recovering after they were shot by a neighbor, all hospital because of an errant basketball. Authorities say 24-year-old Robert Louis Singletary grabbed a gun and approached a group of children after the basketball from their street game rolled into his driveway. According to police, William White, the father of 6-year-old Kingsley, noticed Singletary and tried to draw gunfire toward himself to protect the children before being shot in the back. He is still in the hospital. Authorities launching a massive manhunt for Singletary, who remains on the loose. That shooting just one of several causing alarm across the country. 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis was shot and killed in upstate New York when the car she was in pulled into the wrong driveway. Kevin Monahan, the man who allegedly fired the deadly shot, appearing in court Wednesday, charged with second-degree murder in connection with her death, the judge denying bail. The 65-year-old accused of shooting at a car full of young friends after they say they mistakenly turned into his driveway in a rural area 60 miles from Albany, New York, Saturday evening. Gillis, in the front passenger seat, struck by a single bullet.
Kaylin deserves to have her story told of what a beautiful person she was.
And in this grocery store parking lot, just outside of Austin, Peyton Washington, Heather Roth, and 2 other members of the Woodlands Elite Cheer Company were heading home from practice when Roth says she tried to get into a car she thought belonged to her and saw a man inside.
I just saw like a black figure in the passenger seat, and I shut the door as fast as I could.
She ran back to her friend's car when the man approached her vehicle.
And I just threw his hands up, and then he pulled out a gun. And then he just started shooting at all of us.
Roth was grazed by a bullet in the gunfire. Washington suffered serious injuries and was taken to the hospital. Police say the suspected gunman, Pedro Rodriguez, is now in custody.
Makes you realize what you take for granted pretty quickly that you do every single day when you never expect it to happen to you.
Greetings, my beautiful lovelies.
He walked through his yard and he said he was going to kill the kids. Why did you shoot my daddy and me? He tried to shoot a kid's dad.
That is 6-year-old Kinsley White, who is asking those questions after she took a bullet fragment to her face and went into surgery because of it. Her mom, Ashley Hildebrand, also grazed by a bullet, and her dad is in the hospital, having been shot in the back, allegedly by the neighbor who didn't like the basketball that rolled into his yard. In this primetime exclusive, I want to welcome Ashley and her daughter Kinsley, who join me now live. Ashley, the very first question is, how are you all doing? I can see the 2 of you, but Kinsley's dad is still in the hospital. How is he?
He's not doing so good. He's got several injuries. He's got his liver's split. His lungs got piece missing. Broken ribs. He's got a big old hole in his back.
And how are you doing and your daughter?
Just trying to get by. I don't know how to even, I don't know. It's just been all so crazy. It's unbelievable.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine it. Can you tell me, Ashley, how, what happened with Kinsley when you went to the hospital?
It was scary. They had to put a, like a numbing gel on it and dig the bullet fragment out with a pair of hemostats, and they had those hemostats way in her cheek, and I about passed out. It was so gross.
Kinsley, can you hear me okay? I know it's tricky hearing out of a little piece in your ear, but can you hear?
Yes.
How are you doing tonight, sweetheart? You okay?
Yes.
you tell me a little bit about what happened when that whole thing ended up going on in the neighbor's yard?
So, some kids was playing basketball and the ball accidentally went in the yard and he had a gun and he started to shoot somebody's dad and then he went back inside and got a different gun. Then he shot my daddy and then he shot me.
And then you went to the hospital, right, Kinsley?
Yes.
How do you feel tonight? Are you feeling a little bit better?
Yes.
Yeah. A bit worried about your dad, though, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
So, Ashley, what have you been able to explain? I mean, all of this is so hard for us adults to process. What have you been able to explain to Kinsley?
She's been real sketchy about the police and everybody. I've had to explain the good guys, these are bad guys. She's really been scared to go to sleep, eat, anything. I mean,
Do you know anything about that neighbor? Is he familiar to you?
no, ma'am, that was the first time we had ever seen him or anything. He had just moved in 2 weeks ago. He was actually renting a room from the guy who was actually renting the house. Well, his girlfriend was renting a room from the guy that was actually renting the house. And he hadn't even been there, I don't even think 2 weeks. He had been there 2 weeks. That's giving him a few days.
So, Ashley, the news broke just a little while ago that, after quite an extensive manhunt for him, he was captured in Hillsborough County in Tampa. That must have been a relief to you. How did you feel when you heard that?
Relieved, but I just can't believe he made it all the way to Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way, and it's a little surprising he turned himself in as well. Kinsley, when you heard that the man who was, they were trying to catch him, when you heard that the police caught him, what did you think?
Like nothing.
We made it a special
Nothing.
thing. We made it a special thing. We waited. I was the one who told her that he was in jail.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's.
All right. And so that was the reaction to the child that was shot and the mother. And again, all these shootings that happened in the last couple of days, where the 16-year-old black boy was shot by a 80-year-old man just for knocking on the wrong door and was shot. Then you had a woman who was shot and killed by a white man who not accidentally. She was turning into his driveway to back up, turn around, to try and kill her. We have the story of the cheerleaders, and then we have a guy who was enraged and ended up shooting at them injuring them. And then we have a 6-year-old who was shot at, and her mother and father were shot too, I believe. I think it was the 6-year-old and the father that was shot. And I love basketball, What you don't see is Black Lives Matter. You don't see any protest in any of these other cases, besides one case, and that was a 16-year-old who was shot and injured. I think that, and again, I'm not a fan of guns. I never was. And so you gotta understand that we're dealing with a crisis. We're allowing guns to be in the wrong people's hands. And so I think that's another major issue that we need to deal with as a nation. And I blame Congress, I blame Capitol legislation, because they could be out here saving people's lives. And all you gotta do is get these assault rifles off the streets. That's all you gotta do. But it's up to people like us to fight this crisis and get these people to understand that as long as we continue allowing these guns to flow on our streets, we gotta continue seeing mass shootings. We gotta continue seeing children being shot. We gotta continue seeing people being shot just for turning around with one driver or just for knocking on the door by accident, one else. So I think it is time for the legislation, the state capital, and all the people to get serious about this and fight this fight, because we're dealing with gun crisis. This is a crisis that we're in. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So that means everyone deserves justice. The United States deserves justice. And our justice is getting these guns, assault rifles off the streets, because they are flowing and they're getting in the wrong people's hands. And we're seeing innocent people lose their lives, being injured. And it's all because of illegal guns. Majority of these guns are being bought illegally off the streets. Majority of the guns are stolen guns off the streets that criminals are buying from other people. And they're using it. They're using these guns in our community. And they're injuring our children. They're killing our children, killing our teens, injuring our teens, killing the adults, injuring adults. And I think that in this case here, that man was angry because of basketball. Children playing basketball. Balls get loose all the time. It's a basketball. But to use deadly force like that to get what you want is sad. And then you go back in the house and get another gun, which means you deliberately tried to kill somebody. It was never that serious of a basketball. It should not have been that serious of a basketball. And these people, this family, is going to have to live with this the rest of their life, knowing that they shot at over a basketball. So again, when shooters and mass shooters commit murders, 100 people in mass shootings, you don't know the trauma that you don't know the trauma that can affect a person. You think that you're doing something by shooting at a person. That child should never have been shot at. The father should not have been shot at. The family should not have been shot at. There were children playing basketball. Children playing basketball. And you just shooting guns off like it's nothing. You could have shot multiple children. You could have shot anybody outside. And so, my opinion, the family needs to get them an attorney. And besides this criminal going to jail, they can sue this man. Oh, they can. They can sue him. And because he's a convicted felon, then they can sue either the manufacturer or whoever gave him the guns because he was supposed to have the guns. So this case could be turned upside down. And so I think it's time that we take cases like this serious. And as the mother stated, father's not doing well. And, you know, time will tell. And, you know, imagine being shot with a gun, period. But to be shot in the back, if not bullet into it, it destroyed the majority of the inside. It could destroy organs, tissues. It could destroy, you know, the heart, the liver, any part of the body on the inside. And so that man scarred this child for life. You know, because you're upset about basketball, so you try to kill people. Was it worth it? You know, and you know, what I find so crazy is that on some of these news, on the news, yeah, some people in the comments angry and upset and etc. But what you don't have is people pissed off about the situation. There should be angry people right now, marching with a sign in the air down that road. Mad, protesting, and should be upset that a 6-year-old was shot and a father was shot. Where is Black Lives Matter when you need them? Where is people in general when you need them? Seriously. Children could have lost their lives that day. That father could have lost his life that day. And nobody cared to go down there and protest. We live in the United States, but we should be speaking for this type of stuff that goes on in our community. And so this man, again, definitely because he was not supposed to have that gun, and he's a convicted felon, oh, he's going to prison for life. Oh, he's going there for life. He's going there. I'm going to tell you why he turned himself in. 2 reasons why he turned himself in. One, he knew if he didn't turn himself in, the police would be coming, knocking on the door looking for him. And if he refused, they could use deadly force. Secondly, he knew that there's a community out there and people all around the world looking for this guy. Looking for this guy. This guy was so reckless and so careless that he thought about himself. He shot people and left the scene. You shot people because you were angry. The least you could have did was stand at the scene, make sure these people was okay. Police come and turn yourself in right there, surrender, instead of running like a coward. You're a coward for running away from a situation that you caused. You shot the child and then run from the scene. Who does that? Who does that? Seriously, who does that? Let's see where it's happening at. So, so this happened in North Carolina. North Carolina. So, attempted murder. Because he's a convicted felon. I'm gonna assume they can't seek the death penalty because nobody is dead. But for the attempted counts of murder, that's life imprisonment right there, convicted. And then you have assault with a deadly weapon. Then you have child endangerment because you shot when there was children present in the area. Then you have aggravated assault on a minor. You have aggravated assault against that filing, reckless conduct, reckless and dangerous because you're going to use reckless or shouldn't that go, or is it reckless misconduct? Um, and I advocate for the brothers that are locked up that's doing time that have not commit murders, innocent. We have too many innocent men locked up doing time for crimes that have not committed. And yet you have a man who chose to be menace to society by opening fire in a crowded area and at children and people playing basketball. That guy do not deserve to be back in the streets of North Carolina. He deserved to be in a prison cell for the rest of his life in North Carolina. This guy will get life imprisonment. But this family needs to get justice, and I urge him to be an attorney and file lawsuits against whoever gave that man those guns, sue him, and because y'all gonna need money for medical bills, therapy, that child's gonna need counseling, that child's gonna need help at 6 years old and being shot at with two guns that nearly could have killed the child. That's called trauma. And trauma is a word that it's a common word. Trauma. When you dealt with something that is traumatic, at the end of it, it is trauma. Whether you're traumatized after a shooting, a mass shooting, assault, any of it, trauma. Trauma lives with people. People gotta deal with trauma after death is coming. And so when you have trauma in you, you need hope to get that trauma out of you. Because you don't want to live with trauma for the rest of your life. Because that will eat you up inside. And so North Carolina dropped the ball, releasing this sociopath, maniac, devil's child, and crazy man. They dropped the ball. This was a convicted felon. He should have been gone a long time ago. He should have been locked up a long time ago. We continue allowing criminals to get out of prison who are convicted of dangerous crimes and then send them off their merry way. And then this happens. So again, the failure on the state, the city, failure on everybody's part here. Because nobody thought that this guy was a great guy. This guy carelessly and recklessly could have killed many, many people, including that child. I hope and pray that the Father makes a full recovery. And we hope and pray that the child makes it get the help that she needs, and the mother. And remember, those children outside playing basketball. So those children are scarred too. They're going to need counseling. They're going to need help. That's trauma. That's traumatizing children. Put on a gun shooting is traumatizing to anybody, let alone children. So, again, we just hope and pray that the justice system convict them and throw him in prison for life. Exactly what it needs to be. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit thumbs up. Please subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, Outlining Our Community. You will not want to regret it. Subscribe, subscribe, and subscribe. Subscribe to my Save Our Children channel. Subscribe to my Client Time channel. Please get this video to 15,000 views. 15K. That's all I'm asking. We can do it. Let's get this to 15K. Let's start advocating for our children and for the people in our community. Please, thank you.